The greatest threats to life on the Oregon Trail didn't come from war parties or ambushes, as so many dime novels once claimed. The real dangers were much closer to home: accidents, exhaustion, and disease. Every step westward carried risks, and every mile claimed its share of lives. River crossings were by far the most dangerous ordeal pioneers faced. When the spring thaw or sudden rain swelled the rivers, a single crossing could turn deadly. Heavy wagons overturned in the current, drowning men, women, and children, along with their teams of oxen. Valuable supplies, flour, rifles, clothing, were washed away in minutes, leaving families stranded on the open prairie. Animals often panicked in the swift water, throwing riders or bolting into wagons which toppled over. Many immigrants would later recall that crossing rivers was the moment they felt closest to death. But danger wasn't limited to the water. The very animals pioneers relied on could turn deadly. Oxen and mules sometimes lashed out, crushing handlers against wagons. Horses threw riders without warning. And the wagons themselves were killers. Historian Peter D. Olch noted that being run over by wagon wheels was the most frequent cause of serious injury and death. Children were the most vulnerable, slipping as they climbed in or out, falling beneath the heavy wheels before anyone could react. Firearms were another constant threat. Inexperienced hands, jittery nerves, or careless loading led to countless accidents. Guns fired unexpectedly, striking friends and family members. So common were these mishaps that some emigrants wisely kept their rifles unloaded until they were truly needed. Stampeding livestock was another killer. Terrified herds could flatten entire camps, leaving broken wagons, trampled possessions, and sometimes lifeless bodies in their wake. Other dangers read like a grim catalogue of frontier life: lightning strikes on the open prairie, hailstorms that shredded tents and flesh alike, sudden prairie fires racing faster than horses, barrels of gunpowder exploding without warning, and the ever-present threat of snake bites. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy was another immigrant. Arguments turned violent, and killings within wagon trains were not unheard of. Still, all of these hazards combined could not match the devastation of disease. Illness was the great reaper of the trail, claiming 9 out of every 10 pioneers who died on the journey. Cholera alone became a name that struck terror into every immigrant. The disease moved with terrifying speed. Someone could eat breakfast healthy and be dead by noon. Many lingered longer, enduring days or weeks of agony in the jolting wagons before death finally brought release. Smallpox, influenza, measles, mumps, and tuberculosis spread rapidly through crowded wagon camps, felling young and old alike. Once sickness appeared in a train, few escaped untouched. When death came, the pioneers handled it with grim practicality. If a person wasn't expected to last the day, wagon trains often halted, waiting for the end. Burials were usually quick, sometimes made right in the trail itself, so that wagons and animals could pass over the mound, pressing it flat. This practice wasn't done out of disrespect but necessity. By disguising the grave, they hoped to keep wolves from catching the scent and digging it open. Families had to leave loved ones behind, often with nothing more than a wooden marker or stones piled against the endless horizon. By the time the Oregon and California trails had seen their last wagon, it's estimated that as many as 20,000 immigrants had perished along the 2,000-mile stretch. That comes out to roughly 10 graves for every single mile of trail. To the pioneers, each mile forward was not just a measure of progress, but also a reminder of the terrible price paid by those who had gone before.